Dear viewers of the Tom Photo channel, I once posted a video where I talked about why we like photography, and this video is linked below. But are there reasons to not like photography, maybe even hate it? It turns out there actually are. Photography is a pleasing pastime for a huge number of people and a source of professional income for many. What's not to like about it? Apart from the obvious reasons like privacy issues and the expense of the hobby, we all know the equipment is not exactly cheap. But I think that the main problem photography has is its accessibility and widespread popularity. It turns out this creates unique problems that many of us may have never acknowledged. Some of us may remember the old film photography days when you needed to be able to meter light, photograph, develop your own film, and enlarge your own photos. All steps were manual and required not only knowledge but also patience. You almost needed to be multi-talented to produce something amazing. Each good photo was commonly recognized as an achievement. When the digital era came and photography became seemingly easy, many deeply involved enthusiasts lost their interest. I also stepped away from photography for a while because I lost my motivation. Suddenly everyone thought they could photograph very well. These days, you are just a lazy second away from capturing a photo with your phone. Most quick snaps taken with a phone are not very valuable. However, given the number of people taking random photos regularly, you still get a large number of interesting photos at the end of the day. The sheer mass of photos piling up contains valuable gems if you have a good method to search for them. You could be the most skillful photographer in the world trying to photograph a pigeon, but some random tourist in Rome might randomly snap a truly unique photo of a pigeon that you, the best photographer, can never match. The number of pigeon photos taken every day is so large that statistically no single photographer can do much against that avalanche and stand out by the end of the day. The market for pigeon photos is not large enough for you to even try to enter it. Just wait a few hours or days and someone in the world will show you a pigeon photo that will sweep you off your feet. This is the mass at work. This is a numbers game. It's the same reason why you should not try to become the best runner in the world. Almost all people are tested for their ability to run, and the talent that is found is depressingly amazing. Better invent your own sport. At least you can be number one in the world for the first 24 hours. The mountains of photos that exist around us all the time have caused several problems. First, the value of a good photo has gone down dramatically. If you don't sell for cheap, then someone else will. People have gotten used to the idea that photos should be free or almost free. If there is no photo for their specific purpose, they quickly take their own and are happy with the result too. Secondly, because of the massive amount of photos, people no longer have the ability to tell a good photo from a bad one. The lines are very blurry, that's for sure, but people often don't know what makes a good photo. I don't know if this is caused by too many good photos or too many bad photos around them, or maybe the lack of time to figure out which is which. It's just a saturation thing. These days, photography is considered something that everyone can do with little effort. This is far from the truth, but people don't consider a good photo an achievement. They think they could have done the same if they had seen the same scene. Additionally, many people think that a camera takes the photo, and the operator is, well, just an operator. It is very common to think that good photographers simply have very good equipment, and this does it for them. Or maybe they just stumbled upon a good picture. Photography is often considered an accidental thing that doesn't really need to be learned or practiced. I have a friend who was surprised when he heard that it helps for a photographer to be talented. This is in stark contrast with painting, for example. No matter who I tell, they won't believe that there is much less distinction between photography and painting, because in both you need to understand color, shade, composition, mood, and more. They won't believe it when I say that photography is maybe more difficult because standing out among the others is more challenging. Plus, you need to be able to capture the moment. First, recognize the moment, and then execute everything correctly, sometimes with extreme haste. You cannot go home to work on your photo for several weeks like you do with paintings. Think about it every night, and if adding one more tree improves things, then simply add it. No, in photography you need to be able to see and understand it all at once. So yes, photographers don't get the credit they deserve because they are not understood. And this is not getting any better. With the advent of AI-based image creation, some directions of photography are really struggling to stay alive as business directions. So, if you want to become a photographer, you should be mentally prepared for getting less and less credit for your work. Even if the viewers themselves don't have any good photos of their own to show, they are quite convinced that most random people around them will. I am not saying that there are no photographers whose work looks amazing to almost everyone. Yes, some can produce work that doesn't take a pro to appreciate. These people are very talented, and they are also rare. All this certainly creates pressure and increases expectations beyond tolerance for most. These expectations can be so high that many newcomers simply don't want to deal with this pressure. Instead, they will choose to ignore or even hate photography, or continue snapping away with their smartphones without giving it a second thought. These were my own thoughts. Now I'd like to get your feedback. If you have thought about the same issues, let's discuss them in the comments. If you decide to subscribe to my channel and leave a like, I will certainly consider it flattering. Thank you very much for watching. See you again in my other videos. Goodbye.